Okay, so we're gonna continue our first section, which is again a lot of vocabulary, a lot of like minute details. So it's gonna seem like a lot, but it's really not difficult work. It's kind of shallow work. So we were talking about the initial side and the terminal side. And so that terminal side can actually rotate more than one time. So one complete revolution is 360, but we could have two revolutions, three revolutions, etc. So if you watched part one, you saw that I got scared to death because they're testing the intercom system. They're still doing that, so I apologize if you hear a crazy noise. All right, so this is talking about when the terminal sides rotate like the hands of a clock, they can make one or more complete revolutions. So like this says, we can have one revolution that's 360 degrees, or I could go around once and then again and end up in that same spot, and we would get 360 times 2, which gives us 720 degrees. Or I could even go around once, twice, and 3 times, and I would get 360 times 3, which I believe is 1080 degrees. Okay. So this leads to this idea of talking about if I know how many rotations I've made, what would be the measure of the angle? So if we take a look at A, it's saying 1.5 rotations. Now I could do this by graphing. So I'd have my initial side here, and then my terminal side would be one full and then 1/2 a rotation. So this would be my terminal side. So I could say that this is 360 plus 180, which gives us something like 540 degrees. All right. But I want a faster way to do that. So it's 1.5 times a full revolution. So this is rotations times, and then there is 360 degrees per rotation. So think of these kind of like a chemistry question. So now these rotations cancel and I just get degrees. And so in our calculator, if we do 1.5 times 360, we get 540 degrees, just like we predicted, but we don't have to start making guesses as to how far a half a revolution is. So for example, 2.6 revolutions might not be as easy to do graphing, okay? So take a moment to figure out, and by the way, they said clockwise here. So how does that change things? So the arrow, instead of going counterclockwise, should have been going this way. And so notice that is in a negative direction. So I should have paid attention to that, right? So anytime we see clockwise, that means that we're going to have a negative revolution. And then if we see counterclockwise, that's going to be a positive revolution. All right, so pause the video and see if you can figure out the degree for 2.6 rotations. And so we're going to say, we call it theta. So it's like a circle with a line through the middle. We call that theta. It's a Greek letter. So we've got 2.6 rotations times 360 degrees per rotation. And so now the rotations cancel and I get 2.6 times 360 gives me 936 degrees. So if I ever needed to know my angle measure based upon how many rotations, we now know how to do that. All right, and so then the next vocabulary term is coterminal. And so the prefix co means with, so it's like with the same terminal sides. So it's two angles in standard position that have the same terminal side. So if we take a look at this angle, you can see that if I just start from the initial and go straight to that terminal, I have 30 degrees. But I could go a full revolution and then the 30 degrees, which would put me at 390. I could do 2 revolutions and then 30 degrees, and that would put me at 750. Or I could do a reverse revolution, which means that I would do 30 minus 360, and I would get the negative 330. So all of those name coterminal angles, 30, 390, 750, negative 330, they all end at exactly the same place. So the measures of coterminal angles always differ by a multiple of 360 degrees because that's one full revolution. So if the measure of an angle is alpha, so it looks like a little fishy, so alpha degrees, then all angles measuring alpha degrees plus 360k, where k is an integer, is also going to be coterminal with alpha. So like in the previous example, we added 360, we added 720, we subtracted 360. So those are k values of 1, 2, and -1 in order to get those measurements. So if we take a look at example number 4, it's asking us to do 3 things. So one is saying, what are all angles coterminal with each angle? Then they're asking us to find one positive measurement, and then they're asking us to find one negative measurement that's also coterminal with the angle. Okay, so there's going to be 3 things that we have to box for this question. So if we're talking about all possible, we're going to go back to that definition that says I can take my alpha measure, 360, and 43, and add 360k, where k is an integer. So this is the answer to the pink part of the directions. All right, so then the second part, and we're not guaranteed that it always works for this k value, but let's say I let k equal 1. Then that means that I'm going to get 43 degrees plus 360 times 1, and that's going to give me 403 degrees. So if I graphed 43 and I graphed 403, I would get exactly the same terminal side. So 43 degrees would be somewhere about here. So if I go once around and then up 43 degrees, I would get 403 degrees. If I let k equal -1, then that means that I'm going to have 43 minus 360. And so when I do that, I think we get 317, or negative, sorry, 43 minus 360 gives me negative 316, 17 degrees. And so now I have all possible, I have one positive, and I have one negative root. Now, these are sample answers because I could have picked k equal 2, 3, 4, 5, anything like that. And here I could have picked k is equal to -2, -3, -4, etc. So this is just a set of sample answers. Okay, so take a moment with B and see if you could answer all 3 parts. Pause the video. All right, so to get all possible, we would take 30 degrees plus 360 times k, where k is an integer. So that's every possible angle that's coterminal with that angle. All right, and so then I can let k equal 1, and that gives me -30 plus 360 times 1, and that gives me 390 degrees. So that would be one example. Did that incorrectly, my apologies. That would be 330 degrees. There we go, because that was negative. I accidentally added together instead of subtracted that 30. Okay, and then if we let k equal -1, then that's going to be -30 plus 360 times -1, which give me -390 degrees. So again, -30 degrees would be right about here. And so I could either go this way, so I start at -30 and go 1 revolution counterclockwise, or I could go 1 around plus the other 30 and I get clockwise 390 degrees. Okay. So this one is saying if we're in standard position, I wanted to determine a coterminal angle that's between 0 and 360 degrees. So I call that in the first revolution. And then they want us to state the quadrant where the terminal side lies. So there's going to be 2 parts to this answer. So right now, 472 is not in the first revolution because it's bigger than 360 degrees. So coterminal, I can add or subtract any multiple of 360 and start getting coterminal angles. So in this case, we get 112 degrees. And that is now between 0 and 360. So this would be the coterminal angle in what I call the first revolution. So when we look at our quadrant, this is 0 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this is 180 degrees, and this is 270 degrees, and then we go back to 360 degrees. So do you see that 112 is greater than 90 but smaller than 180? So it looks like this would be our angle right here. And so that means that the terminal side lies in quadrant 2. Okay, so take a moment and pause the video to see what you could do with B. All right, so negative 995 is way too small. It's below 0. And if I add 360, it's not going to get positive yet. Even if I double that and add 720, I'm still not going to be positive. So if I triple that and add 1080, then I can get the angle in the first revolution. So using my calculator, negative 995 plus 360 times 3, which is our 180, that gives me 85 degrees. So this is the measure of the coterminal angle, which what I call lies in the first rotation. And so again, looking at that graph, this is 0 degrees, this is 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and then 360 degrees. 85 is smaller than 90 degrees, so it's going to be right about here, which means that we landed in quadrant 1. So that's not something that was obvious from the original question, but that is what we get once we add 3 times the amount of 360. So again, I'm going to pause here to make sure I have a complete thought all together and it doesn't get split between videos.